Rightio, so we got a boar head here. Young Justin shot himself a pretty good boar the other night. He cut it off for him, and I finally just had a little bit of time to come out and clean it, which I've left it for too long, as you can see. That's starting to fucking go ranking a bit green. So, good teeth for a pretty good mountain boar. So, that wind, fuck that wind. So I'm going to clean this up now for him. I'll skin the head off and get as much meat off it as I can. Then I'm going to put it back in the bag, and we've got to boil it out, clean it up, and make a nice trophy for him, because this is the first decent thing that he's shot around here. So it's worth taking care of for him. So let's see how we go. Right, so this is turning into a bigger job than I was anticipating. I don't even sure if you guys can hear me able to win. But what I've decided to do, I've skinned the head back, and we're going to basically cut off the bottom jaw and the top jaw, and we'll boil those out rather than do the whole skull, because it's just going to be very time consuming and time I don't have to fuck with that. So we'll cut the bottom jaw out, we'll cut the top jaw off. That way he'll have both the grinders and the hooks, and we'll boil those out, and that way he can put them on a plaque and make a nice little thing that way. So we'll do that instead. Rightio, so we're back home now, and we're gonna start boiling out these jaws. I'll just run through what I do in terms of boiling. This is basically what I use to boil my skulls with. So basically you just need one of these buckets. That'll be pretty handy, and get yourself one of these. Got a heating element. It's basically you plug it into the wall, switch him on. So that's it in the water, and that'll keep the bloody water going pretty consistently without you having to get bloody gas involved or build a fire. Like, it's a quick, easy way to do it, and you can do it outside, and the missus won't get upset about the bloody horrible smell in the house. So I'll do that. I usually put a bit of liquid detergent in it and a bit of nappy sand in with the water in the jaws to help. That'll help get the grease and all the shit out of it as well. So I'll grab those bits and bobs, and we'll get started. Rightio, so we have finished boiling out our pig jaws, ready to go. So I basically did what we showed you before, like all that stuff, and let it boil for a while. Now the next trick is what I did is, like, I put them all out, cleaned up all the meat off the jaws and whatnot as best I could, and then in that process, while it was still hot, you wriggle the tusks and you manage to, like, get them to pull out. In this case, I may have cut it a bit too short along that end and clipped the back of the tusk, but all that means is I could just pull it out from the back that way, rather than trying to pull it out that way, which it gets a bit tight and hard to do. But that's all well and good, that's fine. So that's all cleaned up as best can be. If we did the same thing with the top jaw, pulled the grinders out, cleaned them up as best we could, pull them out, clean up all the bloody crap and shit inside there, put it back together. So now you just might have to get stuff like a bit of wood glue or something to sort of fill them up and put them back in. That's all on fine. But yeah, that's basically how you clean up the jaw. But what we're going to do now is we're just going to do a quick show on how to measure pig tusks. There's a lot of, well, I don't say there's a lot. There's only the only people that really care about scoring pig tusks, at least Australian wise, are bow hunters. They're the only ones that really care. So it's like if you're part of ABA or trophy takers, like measuring tusks is a big deal to them. Pig doggers and stuff, they more care about the weight of the pig more than tusks, even though they will appreciate a good set of hooks like most people would. Rifle wise, it's either. Happy with a pair of tusks, happy with a big pig, but there's no set authority for rifle shooters on measuring tusks. Now, top jaw with the grinders, that's not part of it. They don't measure grinders. I feel like maybe some European places might do the grinders, but for this sake, because we use the Douglas system mostly here in Australia, we only use the bottom tusks. Now, you need to take 4 measurements on a pig tusks. So you've got to take the length of the tusk from the base all the way to the tip, the girth at the base, the girth at the base of where it's grinded off, and then the length of where it's grinded. You take those 4 measurements, and you know, like most things for in the Douglas, like you take the smallest measurement and double it and add it all together and do all that. Like it's the same with your deer species. I'm not too familiar with goats and chamois and tail, like in horned game. I don't even believe there's a Douglas scoring system for buffalo. I believe that's all SCI. When people refer to like a 100-point bull, that's an SCI measurement, not a Douglas score. So we'll take these measurements now, because this is off a mountain boar that me pommy mate Justin managed to get off a dead cow. He was feeding off it and managed to get a shot, and this is his first Australian trophy that he's ever got. So I was just cleaning up for him, making it all nice, and for curiosity's sake, we're gonna measure this boar and see what we come up with. So I'm gonna take those measurements now, and we'll see what we come back with. Righto, so that boar, mountain boar, with the measurements I took and added it all together, that's a 26-point boar, which, and you know, the ideal benchmark is something over 30, which is very hard to find in mountain boars, especially around here. But that's a pretty good solid start for a first boar for a bloke, as far as I'm concerned. So I think he should be pretty proud of that effort. Now I'll leave it up to him or what he wants to do, whether he wants to keep these in the jaw, or if he wants to do like a European style. So like what the Europeans like to do with their wild boars, put them on a plaque with the teeth sitting like that, and then do similar with the grinders and have them sitting like that above the tusks on a bit of a plaque, or put them both back in and have that on a plaque, slightly jaw open to show off the pig jaw. But I'll leave that up to him on how he wants to do it. But that's just a quick rundown on how to quickly boil a pig jaw and how to measure pig tusks for the Douglas score. It's probably not the proper way to do it, but like that's just a rough go on how you might go about doing it. So yeah, so just to clarify on the measurements that you take, so you go from the length from the base of the tusks all the way to the tip. That's one measurement. Next measurement is the girth around the base of the tusk. Next measurement is the girth around the bottom where the grinding ends. So that's where the sharp end of the tusk, this point here. You find that and you measure the girth around there, and then you measure the length of that grinded bit. And then you get all those measurements, you add it, and you take the shortest measurement of each side, multiply it by 2, add it all together, and that's your score. So in this case, these are the measurements I got for this boar. So the measurements I got for, just to help you along on how I came to what I got. So from here to there, that measurement was 6 6/8. On this one was 7. The girth on this one was 2 3/8. On this one, 2 4/8. The girth on this one, on the base of where it's grind, that was 2 inch. This one's 2 1/8. The length from the grind to the tip was 1 7/8, and it was also 1 7/8 on this one. And I caught you. What are you doing? We'll get to you in a second. So we took the last measurement of each one. So in this case, it was the left tusk for majority of it. The left tusk was the weaker end, so it was the one that you do the multiplication on. And once we added all those numbers up, that's how we came up with 26 points. So that's how we came up with the 26-point mountain boar. So I hope that helps in some way, and I didn't maybe make it confusing. Now, we'll catch you next time, and you're going to go to bed. You're cheeky, sneaking out behind me like that. Catch us next time.